Well, hello, this is Dr. Lemmon, and this is my introduction to December blog. And actually, the last blog introduction I'm probably be doing the last 2 years. Um, I've been doing a blog introduction, and the only reason that I was doing that, someone recommended I do that to kind of tie the Wizard's Catch channel on YouTube with my blogs and bounce back and forth between the two. I may do some more talks this next year, but I think next year, starting in January, I'm going to do about a 15-20 minute little philosophizing about a concept or an idea that I have been teaching and playing with for years. It's hard to put all those things into a package for even one talk, or so I'm going to pick little snippets and play with them. It won't necessarily be associated with a blog, because next year, this last year, we've been working on range, and the strength of range is it gives us more field to play in. It means that everything we've just expanded into is relatively unknown. We should have had a lot of discovery. If you've been playing with range, you would have discovered a lot of things. That's the whole idea of expanding range. You discover things you don't know so much about. We, by design, tend to stay comfortable in what we're familiar with and what's normal for us. When it expands a little bit, then it's challenging. But what is familiar to us is starting to change. The undercurrent's changing. It's not the same as what it was. Then it gets a little unstable. That's the time when you expand the range. You already don't know what's going to happen. Get a little bigger piece. As we've expanded and spent a year, this all takes time, and it's all in cycles. So we kind of redo this. So next year, we're going to be working on questions and attention. Yes, I have done blogs on attention many times down through the years. I've done lots of blogs on questions. There are two profound tools in the logical structure. So we've been playing in the phenomenal structure. The phenomenal just means that it's not familiar to us. Some of it's so abstract, doesn't make sense. We have ideas and we just no idea, no clue. Could you imagine during the gold rush, people just all of a sudden left their homes, left their families, and went to California or went to Alaska hoping to get rich? And some did, most didn't. But they just were going into a world of totally unknown. It's this is what makes humans really interesting. When things get where they're not moving, when there's no change occurring, we have to venture out into new range, new parameters. And that's what we've been doing this last year, if you've been playing along. So next year, we're going to go back into the logical world. And we said, okay, now I've got more range, and I don't know what was happening in changes in my own range. And now that I've expanded out, I'm really lost and confused. So what can I use in a logical world to carve in a place that I belong in, that my potential and my value is going to show up? Now I got a bigger package to plan. I'm not the same old person. What can I play into? That's our goal. So next year, as we open things up for the idea, my blogs will be on attention and questions. And as we open it up, then I'm going to philosophize a little bit each and every month, and that'll be linked to it with a YouTube link. And it's just going to be, here's a theory or an idea. So I'm going to put a little attention and some questions into theories and ideas and concepts to kind of give you examples as we kind of move through next year's process. To make this whole thing fun, why I thought that each year, yes, I know for many, many years I taught classes. We had meetings, we had seminars, I was very busy. So pretty much 6 nights a week, days, weekends, seminars were going all the time. It was a lot of fun, but the world has changed. And so all of a sudden we didn't have a forum for public meetings for a while. And now getting people into the habit of doing that, they're now in a habit, right? Range is narrowed down. They're now in a habit of all of a sudden staying home and looking at this silly TV monitor. or computer monitor, or however you're looking at this, or phone, which is really kind of weird, and everything is really out proportional. It's okay. So that's where we're sitting at today. So let's just play with what we've got and what's working for us. But the goal is to expand. When it expands a little bit, you can start to see not only where your value is, what you fit into right now, what you're moving into, but you can all of a sudden then start to say, wow, I can get a bigger scope of where I'm going. Like, wow, looking at possibilities, potentials, then with a wider range, we can see where we can specialize, we can move into things. So that's the goal, always have been. So we're looking at potential and values. Life is just an opportunity to find that, right? We don't all have the same skill sets. That's good news, because we all did the same work. There'd be a lot of jobs no one would be doing. So we have a lot of diversity. We all contribute to a wholeness of the package. And that's what we're trying to support, right? And that's what I focus is on supporting. So you have any questions for Chris Lemmon, go ahead and send your questions to chris@wizardscatch.com. And I'll be glad to answer your questions either online or philosophize about that concept in some way, shape, or form, or if nothing else, call you or send you some communication. And looking forward to those opportunities. I think it's, I was just checking my time. I have a tendency to get long-winded, just from eons of talking. But I also have lots and lots of class material. I will be publishing some beginning class material next year on Wizards Catch site. I am in the structure of this year, rebuilding some of that pieces. A lot of it was stuff that we were utilizing when I was teaching. And then when I quit teaching, I left it up because I'd left a lot of teachers behind. They were out, and a lot of them are now teaching classes and doing stuff. So it'd be a resource. They could go in and check with that. I wanted those teachers to do a little bio and be able to put it on that Wizards Catch site so that they could see that person and their bio and what they specialize in, how to contact them in various different areas. And that I put that offer out, and it's like so many things that maybe are a good idea or maybe not. That range was not acceptable at that time. So we'll see what comes out as a resource over this next year. So if you celebrate the holidays, why, happy holidays to you. I used to always celebrate that traditionally as end of year. To me, it was kind of like, okay, it's time to reflect on what I did this year and decide, wow, what am I going to do different next year? I don't want 2 years the same. What am I going to do with my life next year? What new adventures am I going to start? Where am I going to go? What's going to open up for me? What am I going to learn from? Where can I move into? Right? Redundancy makes you feel safe, but it's also very boring. So I'm looking for something that is an inspiration, right? And death is one of those things that's somewhere at the end of the line for all of us. At my age, it's just getting to be a shorter line, not a big deal. So you're having an opportunity now, wherever you're sitting in life, to be able to see what you can do. If you're really happy with life, great. Now's the time to expand it out. If you're not happy with life, you're probably struggling, and it makes it even harder to expand it out. It really does, because you're in question of everything. So opportunity is not an opportunity to you. It's an argument against doing it, right? Play with those ideas, play with those concepts, and kind of join into it. So have a nice holiday, however you celebrate that end of year process for you. And I hope it's enjoyable for you and your family. I hope that you stay safe through this ups and downs of the valleys and the peaks that we're going through right now. And we'll see, there's a lot of change in store over the next 4 or 5 years, and it'll be intriguing to see how that will unfold. And so I don't know, really have no clue. It's all a mystery. But I've been expanding that range, so I'm I'm really looking forward to it starting to fold and say, wow, this is something I know a little something about. Never had any experience with it before, but I've done some research and I can delve into it and have some fun with it. So on that note, thank you very much. It's been an interesting year. I hope you have developed some range. You've picked up some new ideas, read some new books, learned some new things. I'm in the middle of painting and redesigning bedroom, bathroom, et cetera, et cetera. It's been 7, 8 years. So new colors, new artwork, just kind of a change in range. And so my wife thoroughly enjoys that. And of course, I enjoy doing what I'm told. And so keeps me out of trouble sometimes. Although, anyway, it's been a pleasure this year. I hope you did develop range, and we're looking forward to next year come January and see what crazy ideas that will come forth from Dr. Chris Lemmon. So thank you very much, and looking forward to questions. All right, take care.